Hello, 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 guys, and welcome to today's live and today's video. For those of you that are watching the replay, I'm excited to actually have you here. For those of you that are watching the replay, hi, my name is Apollonia Ponti. I'm a dating, relationship, and life coach and attraction coach for men. And I not only help men get significant results in their life, but also in their relationships as well. I take them from either single to being married, to healing their past relationship issues, and overcoming and becoming a better man overall so he can attract a high value woman and get a high value life. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about why women are attracted to emotionally disciplined men and why it's so important. And really, what does that even mean, right? So, if you guys are watching the replay, what I'm going to do is I will timestamp right below when this video actually starts, because when we do live, it does take a couple minutes for people to get alerted, for people to join. So I just want to make sure that you guys are able to see and catch this full live, because you're in for a treat today. So if you are tuning in right now, go ahead and comment. Tell me where you're listening in from. I would love to know. I'd love to know where people are living. I'd love to know where people are chiming in from. So I would love to give you a personal shout out and reply to your comments if you're watching the replay. And also if you're here live with me now, I would love for you to tell me where you are tuning in from, because in today's live, we are going to be talking about why women are attracted to an emotionally disciplined man and what that means exactly. So shout out to all the guys that are joining right now. Hello, Jack. Nice to see you. Hello, Alberto. It's nice to see you as well. You're watching from Dallas, Texas. Amazing. Gulf Coast Company. Hello from Houston. We got a lot of people in Texas here. Arkansas. Amazing. Hello, hello. Hello, Edward. Nice to see you here. Hello, Stefan. Nice to see you here. Watching from Providence, Rhode Island. Ooh, awesome. You guys got some good seafood there. Hello, Edward from New York. Just got back from New York. Amazing. South Florida. Hi, John. Hello. Hello, hello from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Nathaniel. Ooh, Dubai. Hello. From Dubai, from Australia. Amazing. This is why I love the internet, because literally I can have people watch and tune in from all over the world. Hello, Luke from Trinidad, and good morning to all of you guys. Amazing. So I'm so happy that you are here live. Let's dive into it and really get into what this topic is all about, why we need to have emotional regulation, what it means, what is this whole thing with women and emotions. And I want to really break this down. Also, to make sure you stay till the end, I'll be doing a Q&A with you guys live, and I'll also be doing have something special for you, because I want this to also give you more than today. I'm going to give you something for all of you guys that are staying with me. I'll be giving you something to take away for you guys to continue working with me as well. And excuse me, I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold, so I might, my voice is a little raspy, but I promise it's still me. So let's get into it, guys. All right. So today's topic is women are attracted to emotionally disciplined men and why it's important. Guys, if in the comments, what do you think an emotionally disciplined man sounds like? What does it look like? What does it contribute to yourself in life, right? As a lot of you know, with my teachings, I don't talk to men and say, this is what you have to do for a woman. It's really what you have to do for yourself first. And then the woman always follows, right? And I don't mean like a woman will follow you. Like, I don't mean this so I don't get bashed from other women in the comments. What I mean is, like, a woman is going to naturally feel safe in her feminine essence when a man is able to lead. One of the biggest components of leadership in the masculine framework of relationship, which blends into polarity as well for both partners, is the emotional component. Men always lose attraction for the number one reason is emotions, guys. This is why I talk about emotions so much, because also in our society, I was just having dinner with friends the other day, and their husbands were talking about how they don't have friends that they can just share things that, oh, this is wrong. This is what's going on wrong in my marriage, right? One of the guys says, I've been married. I've had a best friend for 20 something years, and I know his marriage is not healthy and it's not good, but he'll never admit it because he's ashamed, right? So many times we don't have this safe place for men to hold emotional space And so we have to learn not only to revolve, I think, this and get elate to better friend and a more open friendship, excuse me, but also to know how to hold this space for yourself. Because if you don't hold this space for yourself, then you won't be able to hold the space for the woman. So let's dive in. All right. So, one of the things in order to be emotionally disciplined and basically available, we need to be emotionally disciplined and available to ourselves, right? So, when most of us basically see a side of ourselves, okay, for example, I want you to think of yourself. Um, we're not asking you guys to be hyper emotional, right? But when most of us see a side of ourselves that we don't like or not comfortable with, we will choose to run. We will choose to self sabotage. We will choose to numb, or sometimes even place blame on other people and negate from what we're feeling. So, if you do this with yourself, you will eventually do this with your partner. As many people that haven't heard basically from their triggers and past place will also, or haven't worked through it, I should say, or haven't acknowledged it, will place blame on their future partners or their current partner and make them take responsibility for their triggers and emotions. And this is where a man will definitely lose attraction. And it's unfortunate because majority of the time, if a woman was to do this, I have to be completely honest, sometimes traction wouldn't be that diminished, but for a high value man, a red flag would definitely go up and he would want her to take responsibility for her emotions, right? And so many men have been taught to cater to a woman's emotions and take responsibility for her emotions. But the only person, and this is where that Captain Save a you know what saying comes in from, whatever, guys. But this is, I don't like to say it, but I say Captain Save a Woman, okay? But this is where that savior complex comes in, right? And we teach the superiority of a man is when he can save a woman, which is completely false. This is where men get into empty relationships, broken relationships, toxic relationships. And I'm here to change that storyline because I want men to level up in the women that they're choosing and women that they're dating, but you also have to level up within yourself, right? So if you do this yourself, you will eventually do this within a partner. So it's really important to understand what you've been through, your past triggers and places, and how you place blame on others, which I'm going to break through. And I'm going to give you 2 examples of what I see from men and their experiences in life and relationships. So when we do this with our partners, then they give us basically feedback, or we see sides of them that bring out a trigger in us, right? So let's say a partner will give us feedback about something, but then we get triggered from their own feedback, because holding space for yourselves will embrace different sides of you. Okay. So you don't have to see you when you don't embrace basically yourself and your own emotions and things that you've been through and resolving them yourself, you won't have self-acceptance for yourself. And the most important thing with an emotional and disciplined man is self-acceptance, accepting who you are and knowing that with a firm fact who you are is great, but not the radical toxic self-acceptance like, oh, whatever, I have triggers and I've done this in the past and this woman has done this to my past, so I need a woman that's going to not do this in my past. No. Radical self-acceptance, positive, it starts with empathy, compassion, acceptance, clarity, and awareness. Okay. When you have this, you face those uncomfortable moments to find self-love and self-acceptance. So you give it to another person, and the right person fully. So I'm going to give you 2 examples. I was working with this man and he had been cheated on actually horribly in his upbringing. So he married his high school sweetheart, and they were together, I think, and married for 8 or 10 years. And she started acting differently in the marriage, and he found out that she cheated on him. And he ended up having a baby with the one he cheated on, right? That she cheated on him with. Of course, that would break anybody. And anybody has a right to be broken after that. I'm not saying that there's not a way, right? So what happened here is now he came to me 8 years later, right? And is wanting to be in this relationship with this woman he fell in love with, which was a really great woman. And she was really trying to give him a chance. But what happening is he never worked through that process, right? And so because he was cheated on, he was always blaming his ex-girlfriend and blaming women. So subconsciously and unconsciously. So he was looking for her to soothe his new girl, to soothe and maneuver around his triggers that trigger him, because he never worked through them. So he made her responsible for it. And it actually diminished their attraction. So let me tell you how and why. So basically, when he started dating this woman, he was completely head over heels about her, and she was too. But when she did something that pushed him, it triggered him, and he became irrational with his own behavior, yelled, placed blame on her, and immediately wanted to run away and break up all the time. So where's the safety net here? So for example, one time she wanted to go out on a girls' night after all the couples had gone out together, and the guys went over to the house, and the girls were like, no, we're going to stay here for have a little girls' night, because the guys ended up wanting to go to the house. And so he got triggered by her staying out until 2 a.m. And he's like, I don't deserve this, da 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 da. When she was just plain and simple out with the girls, which he was still with the couple's wives. She was still with his couple's wives. They spent time together, and then they just basically went on their own afterwards. And he wanted to leave, and he was like, I don't want a woman out until 2 a.m., blah, 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 which she never did, right? And so here's what's important is that you have to remember that your triggers and your emotional triggers will push a woman away if they're not balanced and worked on. Because his ultimate fear was, this woman is going to cheat on me like my ex-girlfriend did, like my ex-wife did. And so what happens is he's putting this into his relationship, guys. And he's basically saying, here is my triggers. I need you to recognize it. And I need you to maneuver your own self from my own personal triggers, right? So I've seen this in trust issues with men. I've seen this in myself in relationships too, guys. That's why I teach this stuff too. I see it with clients every day that have been married and have kids, and they want to start over. I see it all the time with men that face a lot of rejection growing up from their own parents. And so what happens here is that, when going back to the client that I coached, what happened here is he had to work through his triggers. And now they're in this beautiful relationship. They took space. They actually broke up for about 3 months. And he really had to work on himself. And now they're in this relationship, and his triggers are monitored now. Like he knows where it's coming from. It's about creating this better relationship and having discipline. This is why I said it. Many of us think that, all of these things that I've been through in life, I need to just take out of my life. No, it's about recognizing and having a better relationship with them, guys, right? So, all right, so I'm going to see here. Hi, Apollonia. Hi, June. Awesome. I'm going to give you another example of what happens. Yes, exactly. So Christopher says, what about the woman's issue? What if the man does everything and the woman lays around smoking, eating ice cream all day? First of all, Christopher, why are you with a woman? You see what I mean? You're not a victim. You choose to be with a woman that lays around and smoking and eating ice cream all day. But here's the thing. What have you addressed within her? Are you setting boundaries? Are you having clear communication? Are you talking about this? What made us lead ourselves to here? So maybe you're in a long relationship or a marriage and this ended up happening, but what were the steps that led you here? It doesn't just happen like this all the time, right? 90% of the time, it's because something led you guys there that you both didn't take responsibility for. And so what happens is you have a part to play just as much as she has a part to play too. So how are you not accepting responsibility and start accepting it for yourself and for your relationship, and then lead by example? So hopefully she will. And if she doesn't, this is where you have to have that hard conversation as well. And so here's the thing is I'm a woman in a man space. And let me be really clear with you guys. I will 100% talk to women about how they need to be better with men, how they need to do it. And I do it on podcasts for coaches that help women. But I talk to men on how to really contribute to their lives and their relationships themselves. And that's why on Thursday, I'm going to put it here in the link. I'm doing a free live masterclass all about how to regulate your emotions and really become that masculine presence in emotional control and balancing, right? So basically, what I want you to do is achieve emotional mastery. And this is all what that's about. It's an hour live masterclass. It's completely free. Register your tickets for your tickets. We only have 1,000 slots. And I do masterclasses like this at least every 3 months for this specific one. And I really want you to join me because I go into exactly what these look like, things that you can recognize and stuff, self-coaching tools that you will be able to perform for yourself, for you to get better. And this not only helps in your relationship, this helps for single men and their relationship rejection, men that are great with women as well. And I'm going to go into another example of how a lot of men think that men that are great with women have it easy. No, because but I deal with every single type of man out there I've coached. I'm going to give you another example of why a woman will not be attracted to a non-emotionally disciplined man. So, okay, I'm going to give you another example. So there's a man, let's just think of any man, right? Maybe you know one, right? So there was a client of mine that he would get women easily. He would get women. He can go on dates, and it wasn't like he couldn't. But he longed for a long-term relationship, and so he was having a struggle finding a woman that would have a long-term relationship with him. But he wanted this, okay. But he also had common subconscious blocks many men find themselves in, especially ones that also don't have a hard time getting women. And so even though this man has an internal desire to have a relationship, but subconsciously looks for rejection in his relationships when he has women that he likes. Let me explain. So maintaining a relationship with a woman you actually want can be difficult for a man that actually doesn't have a good relationship with rejection growing up, right? Just because a man gets woman doesn't mean that he can maintain a relationship too. Those are two different ball games, guys. And so what's difficult here for him is that difficult wasn't about dating women. It was difficult to maintain. So what happens when a man gets into this rejection and doesn't have a good subconscious relationship with rejection? What happens is when he gets close to a woman, he'll start to sense shifts in her behavior. Rather if it's good or not, doesn't matter. He'll start to sense a shift, and any shift means that it's not good, it's not real, it's not healthy. And he goes down this self-sabotaging route and looks to end things with her before she ends things with him, so he doesn't get hurt. Even if she never wanted to end things in the first place, because her behavior is off, right? So he interpretates basically her pulling away and her change of behavior, and to find a reason to reject her before she can reject him. So what happens is this man sometimes will rely on her affirmation constantly when in relationship and start to build. So he feels like his sense of control and his sense of power starts to go away, and it feels uncomfortable for him. And this cycle makes someone else dependent on you and makes that person dependent to release your anxieties here. So getting dates isn't always an issue for this type of man, because what happens here is this type of man has learned early on that you weren't going to get your needs met in a relationship. And when you tried to get your needs met, you felt rejected. So subconsciously you look for rejection when you find yourself getting close to someone. This happens in caretaking roles, parent roles. It happens in your first relationship. Remember the guy that I gave you a first example of? He was this spitting image of this. He was 15 when he met his first girlfriend and was married to her for 10 years, right? And so this is something that had to really release in his programming. Many of us don't shy away from the work. Many of us shy away because, yeah, guys, I am going to tell you right now, it is not easy, but let me tell you, it's a game changer when you do it. And that's why I want to be able to give you an effective approach on how to regulate that emotions and anything that's coming up for you. And I want you guys to tell me in the comments, what do you notice for yourself that comes up when you start dating a woman that you like? Is there anything emotionally that you've noticed within yourself that comes up? Tell me in the comments. Okay, guys? And that's why I'm doing this 1 hour live masterclass on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, because I'm going to give you self-regulating tools for you to do it. I pin it in the live comments. If you're watching the replay, it's going to be down below in the description box for you as well. I'm going to start taking some questions, but I'm also going to go into, after the questions, I'm going to go into, I have 7 things here of how an emotionally disciplined man shows up with a woman, and also 5 things that happen to a woman when you are an emotionally disciplined man. I'm going to go to that next, but I'm going to take 3 questions, maybe 4, depending on time. Okay, guys? So go ahead and tell me your questions, and I want to see your insight as well. An emotionally disciplined man, would it need appreciation? Yeah, well, Kevin, I like that as well. I think here's where I'm going to just say something. I think an emotionally disciplined man deserves appreciation, right? There's a difference between deserving and needing it. Wanting, needing is totally different, right? So I like that comment, Kevin, because the need for something is not there, right? So you don't need it in order to feel better about yourself. And I know that's what you're saying. So that's perfect. But an emotionally disciplined man does deserve appreciation from a woman, plain and simple. And I'm going to tell you about those 5 ways how a woman will appreciate a disciplined man in just a moment as well. We're going to go into that. So that's a good way to go into it, but I'll go back into it in a second. So let's see. An emotional and disciplined man should be honored and respected. However, amongst modern women, it's not. I love this because here's the thing is, all right, evolution always changes in every century that we have with people, right? And I know a lot of modern women have this mindset of being, equals and doing this. And, I have my own belief system around this. And there's plenty of women that do share the same beliefs within you guys. Okay. And so I don't see how, when I say equal, there's a difference between a man and a woman all the time and how they show up in life and how they look and everything else. Right. And so, and this comes into other avenues. And I think what's happening is there's a lot of confusion, but here's the thing. When you have a very emotionally mature woman, she's open to feedback. She's open to hearing you out, and she's open to this. So there's plenty of women out there too that are not probably going to be your fit, but there's also plenty of women that are. But if we lead with the mindset that there's amongst all these women out here and these are difficult, right? No woman respects and honors an emotionally disciplined man. That's actually false, but that mindset will make you see those women only. And you will get that confirmation bias all the time by going out there, because your mind will also project its beliefs onto others and also the energy, and you will only attract women that are like that. So please, please, please open up to being aware when a woman can give you and offer you space that you are looking for, and don't block yourself from that, okay? Let's see. Need honest advice. I can't take out her from Phil. She's totally ignoring him. Like, okay, it's not about this topic. Sorry. I want to spend too much time with them early. Okay. I want to spend too much time with them too early, calling, texting, meeting up. Yes. Okay. So many times it's because we're not pacing the dating process. And many of us understand. I want to be really clear. It is okay for someone to be excited when you meet someone new. Okay. Majority of us in life want connection, right? Humans thrive off of connection, guys. And so I'm not a coach that's going to say, oh, you shouldn't be feeling this. No. Literally, it's normal to be excited, but gauge your enthusiasm when you are dating a woman every time you do this. That's why I always say, guys, pacing is a root of attraction, right? And so I'm going to go into some activities here that will help you as well with this. What I do notice is that when a man genuinely focuses on him and his goals, most women notice and are drawn to him. Exactly, Israel. This is so important because a man naturally in his masculine, the feminine will follow. I'm a true believer in a masculine and feminine roles, right? And also too, women can be in their masculine, men can be in their feminine. That's called polarity. But typically in a heterosexual relationship, man and female, what will happen is one of them will embrace more masculine energy than the other one, right? So example for my marriage, I'm more in my feminine because I'm in my masculine all day. coaching men, doing lives, managing a business. Like I'm always in my masculine. And so I just want to be a baby when I'm with my husband. And so I'm in my feminine majority of the time, unless we're doing something together that I need to kind of put on that role and that hat. And this is where that polarity will come in relationships and marriage. But a man can't step into his feminine if he doesn't feel safe in his masculine, and the woman doesn't make him also feel safe. And the same goes vice versa for the female. The female can't step into her feminine if she's not safe in the feminine, because the man needs to also be safe in his feminine to be able to nurture her in the masculine and in the feminine. And this is what I'm actually going to be talking about a little bit in the live masterclass on Thursday at 2 p.m. So I want you guys to join. I'm going to take one more question, and then I'm going to go into the 5 things about how a woman shows up. And also, I think this is 6 or 7, I can't count right now, write it really quickly, on what a man looks like that is emotionally disciplined. And then I'm going to take some more questions too, guys, okay? Foster says, I like to stay reserved and keep in mind that she can leave at any moment, and I let her love me more than I love her to regulate my anxiety. So, okay, so there's this thing, here's where, Foster, I have to be completely honest. When we are going into a relationship saying, I'm going to let her love me more, you're still going in with a guard. So a woman won't fully be able to see you. And this is where their contrary reaction can happen. Let's say that you do something. I'm going to make up a situation because I've seen this happen. Let's say you do something and you're like, oh my God, I need to pull back because that was too much. And I'm showing her that I love her more. And now you're going into overdrive, and then you pull back and she's like, noticing your energy. And now it becomes a game. This is exhausting, Foster. So here's what I'm going to be honest with you is I want you to ask yourself, what makes you uncomfortable to loving a woman? Because it's not about how someone loves you more. There's going to be days where, personally, I love my husband probably more than he loves me. There's going to be days where he loves me more than I love him, right? It's a balance, right? When you're with someone for 10 years almost, love goes in and out. And this is what I talk about in my 7 principles of a healthy relationship. But commitment is the number one thing, your solid foundation of values that keep you there. Because when you guys argue, when you guys go through a hard time, you're not thinking about all the time love. You're not in love. You love the person, but this is a balance. And so if you don't have balance within your personal own emotional wheelhouse, it's going to be and feel exhausting, and it's going to feel like you're always trying to play this game. And this is not what I want for any man, because it's not going to give you the opportunity to really live in a flow with your relationship and with that woman. Okay. I'm going to take more questions, but I'm going to also go into a couple things. Guys, if you haven't signed up for this live masterclass and you're seeing a lot here already, I go even deeper. It's a live teaching. You're going to have a pen and paper. I'm going to give you tools. I'm going to give you things to walk away with. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern at 2 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. And it's my live masterclass on emotional mastery for masculine men. And I want you to register. It's completely free. And it's here in the comments. It's also, if you're down below in the description, if you're watching the replay, but we are live now. All right. So let's talk about first how a woman shows up when she is with an emotionally disciplined man, right? She's going to be more in her feminine. She's in love with, what happens is she's in love with your life because you're in love with your own life that you created with or without her. That is a key to it, okay? I want you to really think about how in love with your life are you, right? What is your community like? What is your friendships like? What are your day-to-days like? Are you more in a routine? Are you breaking your comfort zone? What life are you building with or without her? Because you want to make sure that you have a great life with or without a woman. So when a woman does walk into your life, you know that it's great with her and it's great without her. It is great either way. Of course, there's going to be different avenues that a woman's going to be able to supply love, and it feels even greater because the right woman is in there in your life, and you can actually live a more abundant life with a great woman. Yes, but you want to make sure that there's a life that you love, because this will help you lead the dating process and naturally attract that woman to you. And so also a man, that feels complete. She likes a man that feels complete with or without a partner, right? So you are complete with or without a partner. You're also able to give her plenty of space throughout the dating process. And I think that goes into one of the comments that were here, is you want to be able to give a woman space in the dating process, right? And also too, in your relationship. There's sometimes couples want to spend every waking minute, which, hey, to each its own. But I also do think that when you are starting to get to know someone, you got to give them space, because what happens if we go in hot, we're going to also come in and go here. But whatever happened to exploring each other here? Because this is where a relationship typically lives, in and out of here. But if we skip this and we just go to this, that relationship's going to always want this, right? And that's not sustainable. So a woman also loves a man that can spend time on his own without feeling lonely, because as I mentioned before, you are in love with your life, guys. And so a woman loves when you're able to spend time alone. A woman loves when you have discipline, and this is what I tell men all the time is like, if you are dating a woman, let's say that you guys are going on a couple dates, don't just forget about all your chores, your activities, your community, your fitness routine, everything. Let's say that you spend the night at her house and you typically have to do a workout at 8 a.m. And instead you're like, okay, I'm going to spend the night, but I won't do it at 8 a.m., but I have to leave around 11. Let's get some breakfast and I'm going to go for a workout and just want to do my thing. And then tonight we can probably get another dinner or catch a movie, right? Don't maneuver your own discipline, your own things that you do that make you feel good just because you're in a relationship with a woman, okay? Or dating a woman. Also, a woman likes a man that is confident and doesn't perceive other men as a threat to the relationship. This is my number one. Look what I do for a living. I'm always coaching men. I'm on the phone with men. The number one thing that my husband loves, that I love about my husband, is that he is confident with who he is, and he does not perceive other men as a threat at all. Here's why. I will remember that day that he told me this, and I was like, why aren't you jealous of other men? And he looked at me straight in the eye and he goes, because I know as a man that I'm showing up to be the best man, the best husband, and I am at my best, that I don't even think that you can get better than me. And he just smiled. He said it with compassion. He said it with empathy. And I was like, damn, excuse my French. I was like, he's right. Right. And that was so attractive to me, because not only did it show a side of confidence, it showed elegance, it showed truth, but it also showed me that he was so comfortable and trusted my decision in my everyday life. Because what he basically told me is, if you mess up, it's going to be your fault, not mine. Right. And so it elevated the way I stepped into the relationship, how I stepped into the relationship back then. And I know that, guys, when you are able to really embrace who you are as a person, a woman will naturally be so attracted to this and be so elated by your energy that she will want to be with you. She will want to follow your lead in that masculine. Right. And so I want to go into what happens with an emotionally disciplined man too, with some behavioral traits. How to take a drink of water. All right. So one of them is he doesn't judge her, and she doesn't judge him. This is the same thing. It will go vice versa for a woman too. And I want you to remember the things that I'm saying is also things that you should be looking for in a woman. So, judging happens all the time, and people judge all the time. It's just about having an awareness to call out the judgment, to talk about it and things like this, but not to be led by it all the time. So doesn't judge him and her all the time, doesn't criticize her basically. And also she doesn't criticize him. I want to make sure that when I say this, it also alludes to the woman you're choosing. Doesn't criticize her, has strong empathy, right? There's a difference between saying I'm a great catch than saying, well, you know what? I'm a great catch, right? There's no empathy behind the second one. Knows how to communicate assertively, right? And the only way that you know how to communicate assertively is because you know your values, you know what a boundary is. And this is what we're going to be talking about in our live masterclass at 2 p.m. on Thursday. So it's completely free. Make sure that you sign up for it. It's here in the description box and also in the comment box here pinned on the top. Doesn't only take, but also gives, sets healthy boundaries without hurting him and without hurting her, knows how to handle conflict, has really good conflict resolution skills. Conflict resolution skills is number one in a priority list on how you are assertive and you communicate. I'm going to give you 5 principles of conflict resolution skills on my live masterclass on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Again, get your tickets. It's completely free. It's only 1,000 slots. It's on Thursday. So make sure you start to do it, because we start to fill up when I start to do lives on YouTube. Make her feel appreciated. It makes him feel appreciated. and they both make each other feel respected, right? So I want you to really think about, what does respect mean to you, right? So many of us are like, oh, I want to be respected. Okay, great. But respected can mean something completely different from Tom and Apollonia and Claudia and Julius, right? So define, what does respect mean to you? What does it look like? What does it mean to you? And then if you don't know, think about someone in your life that you highly respect. What are the traits that they allude to, that they contribute to in your life, in their own life, that make you respect them? And that's how you'll be able to really understand what respect looks like to you, right? Because many men are like, oh, I want a woman that's going to respect me. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because respect can go so many different ways. So you want to get clear on this stuff too, guys. So yes, we can ask a question, and go ahead and submit some questions. While you guys sign up, take the time to sign up for the live masterclass that I'm having Thursday at 2 p.m. right now as I take questions. Let me know if you signed up. Put sign up in the comments. I would love to know. If you don't want to tell me you signed up, that's okay. I'll be there live, and I'll be doing a live Q&A as well. This is not on YouTube. It's not on any other platform, but the platform that I have for my live masterclasses. It's completely a private platform. So please, please, please make sure you register your seat. There's only 1,000 slots available. And I want you guys to be able to do this masterclass, because this is honestly one of the most important masterclasses that I ever do for men. One of the most. I have a lot of them, but most of them, this is all about emotions, because emotional regulating and disciplining your emotions. Here, this is the number one thing I tell a lot of people, is the reason why attraction is killed is typically because of emotions, right? I got you live, followed you for about 2 years, and has changed me for the best life. Oh my gosh, thank you. I love this. Gosh, it's interesting because I'm home working, coaching, and I just love seeing this stuff, because sometimes it can feel a little lonely. I'm like, I hope I'm helping people. So let me take some more. So thank you for telling me that, and thank you for sharing. How can you gain respect if they are also independent and arrogant? So this is where you also have to have standards for the women you date, Joseph. So okay, so first of all, I want to also make sure we're not blaming women, and then I would do the same thing for a woman, if I gave her results. I want to make sure you're not blaming the man, okay? Because many times I just want to be fully conscious of this. When we say someone is arrogant, sometimes because they're not meeting a need that we haven't met ourselves sometimes, and there's things in relationship that can happen. I would have to know the story, but let's just go off that she truly is arrogant, okay? I would ask you, why are you with a woman that is arrogant? What is it also too? Is it a protection mechanism for her? Is she not wanting to get close, so instead she becomes arrogant? Or is she arrogant because she's doing more than you in life, maybe, and she's trying to get you to level up in your life, right? Or maybe she's just arrogant because she doesn't have value, doesn't see value in a relationship. So my goal for you is for discovering what is it that you want and aligning that with a woman. If it's not her, then asking yourself, why are you with this woman? If you think that she's very arrogant, right? There's a difference between a woman being independent and a woman being arrogant, right? I think an independent woman, every man should look for. Now, independent doesn't mean I don't need a man, okay? First and foremost, independent means that she knows herself. She has a strong self of self. She takes accountability for her emotions. And independent means that she knows what she wants, basically, from a relationship, right? And independent can mean that she wants to raise a family and be a stay-at-home wife. Or independent can mean that she wants to have a company and build a business and have a man that helps her and supports her and alludes to, has his own business as well, and they can be each other's backbone and be powerhouses together. Everybody's life path is different, right? It's not meant to be judged, but it's also meant to know which one is yours, right? Do you want a woman that's going to take care of your kids and stay home and build a life with this way? Then great, more power to you. I believe that is a beautiful thing, just as much as you choosing a woman that is independent and wants to be in the career and hire and wants to develop her career, be a mom, but also have a nanny that helps there. And you both are living the life together as entrepreneurs, or 9 to 5, or in a corporation. There's no right or wrong way, guys. It's all up to what you truly want and why. Okay. So this is where you have to get clear with that. All right. Signed up for the masterclass. Awesome. Taking uncomfortable action. Of course, you signed up for the masterclass because you take action. I admire you in the business you've created. You've done great work. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for that. Amazing. I'd love to see you guys support each other in the comments. All right, signed up for the masterclass. Hello, Ignamar. You signed up for the masterclass as well. Let's see. Oh, do long distance relationships work? Yes, Marvin, they do work, but they're also very tricky. I talk about this, and this is really good for emotional mastery, right? Emotional control is really important, and emotional regulation is really important when it comes down to long-term relationships. So I would really encourage you to sign up for this masterclass. So long-term relationships end up having to have an end goal, right? The emotional component and emotional relationship is huge in long-term relationships, right? So I would really encourage you to sign up for the masterclass, but also I really think that long distance relationships can work if you both have the same goal of why you guys are together in this long-term relationship, but you also have to have an end goal. Shout out to Jack for signing up. What are some winter activities, hobbies to meet new women? Oh, I love this. Okay. So depending on where you live, I believe like ski lounges, going ski, because afterwards, like I remember when I went to Snowmass and I went skiing, afterwards people like take off their skis and they go out to this one little bar area, and it's like people are having a fire and chatting, playing games, card games, having a beer, having hot chocolate, having tea, whatever. I think that's a great way to also do things active for yourself, and then afterwards do this as well. Going to events, right? A lot of personal development or events, a lot of networking events, things like this is a great place to meet women. I also think like ladies' night, happy hour nights, even if you don't drink, it's okay. Going to Wednesdays, happy hour, or typically ladies' night everywhere. So that's another place. I also think, and if you want to meet a woman out in like, instead of online dating, of course, another place is just to also host dinner parties, right? Have friends bring friends that you don't know, right? So have your friend bring a friend that brings a friend, bring a friend. And these dinner parties, start doing them once a month. I've actually had many men do this and it works out like a charm. And you start doing this once a month of dinner parties, and people start catching along, and new people start coming over, and you start enjoying each other's company as well. And this is how you can meet new people. You can meet a friend, maybe a girlfriend there, like a friend, girlfriend, and you're like hit it off with her, and she has friends. It's the world is your oyster. You just got to expand your eyes and your horizons to it and work for it. Let's see. You're the best relationship mentor I've come across. Oh, thank you. I've learned much from your videos, even though I'm still going through tough moments. That's okay. Time will tell. You got it. Continue to show up for you, Julius. Okay. I have no doubt. You look like you smell like a honey and cinnamon. That's hilarious. I would actually laugh if a guy said that to me, and when I was wearing this shirt. Like, that's actually really good. And funny pickup line, because it's so I'm a sucker for silly, stupid shit pickup lines. I'm that girl. Like, I remember one time I was out and about and I walked by, and this guy, I remember it to this day. This was like 15 years ago. It was the stupidest thing, but I'm a sucker for stupid ones. I walked by and he goes, damn, like that, he's like, damn. He's like, can I buy you a house? And I just started cracking up, and all his friends started laughing. He was having the time of his life. I just continued walking, but I remembered how funny that was. And I actually came, and I was going to the restroom. When I came out of the restroom, I told him that was really good. And I started laughing, and all his friends like gave him props. But that's what I mean. It's like, you have to take yourself lightly. And I talk a lot about that in my approach videos, my approach masterclasses, but we're starting a way to get away from that. This masterclass is all about how to control your emotions, regulate your emotions, and really do that type of stuff, right? Because when you regulate your emotions, and when you have empathy for yourself, and when you are able to find solitude in you and really know you, you can do things and say things without pressing a woman that aren't going to come off as mean or like, what's the word I'm trying to get at? or self-deprecating yourself or her, right? It's more about you're just comfortable in your own essence and you can make a woman laugh because the point is you're making yourself laugh. I can guarantee you, noble man, that you laughed thinking of that comment. So you just said it. The point is to always make yourself laugh first and then make her laugh. Okay. Because she will always follow when you are able to take your own lead. Um, this is great. How does a woman, Bruce asked, how does a woman attach? And I want you guys to tell me if you've registered for the live masterclass. Okay. Just tell me in the comments here. The live masterclass is on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, all about how to achieve emotional mastery for masculine men. Let's see. How does a woman attachment styles such as a dismissive avoidant affect what you are talking about? This is a great question. So a dismissive avoidant effect. Okay, so here's the thing. When you're dating a dismissive of avoidant, typically, Bruce, you have to be secure, right? And so you know her behaviors, right? So remember when I went back into one of the traits of how a woman will come to you is you can spend time on your own without feeling lonely because, as I mentioned before, you love your life that you've built, right? And so you can give plenty of space, right? And you can feel complete with or without her partner. So typically within a dismissive avoidant person, what will happen is they need a secure person, but they also need an assertive person, someone place boundaries and rules on how they should show up in a relationship with empathy. Okay. And this is something I will be talking about on the live masterclass. I'm actually happy that you said that. So go ahead and say, just registered, Silver just registered, Alexander just registered. Tony, awesome. Do you believe in online dating? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Many clients find love life. I just got a client that got married and he met his partner from online dating. We revamped his profile. He's engaged now. He's married now, excuse me. Is it normal for conversations to get boring over time or can you lose a woman this way? That's a great question, Burning Desire. It all depends. Sometimes questions do get boring. If you're in a relationship, I have to be honest with you. Sometimes the conversations can get a little boring, but it's about like, what are we doing in our life? What are we building together that excites us, right? What are the new things that we're doing? Are we hanging out with family? Are we going to the birthday parties for the kids? Are we finding new ways that we can also be playful and be childlike, right? I think that's where a lot of adult relationships miss out is they're not doing fun things, like especially when you have children. You're literally can't enjoy the fun with children all the time because you're watching them or it's a birthday party event. But when's the last time that you and your wife or you and your partner went to a trampoline park and just became kids at the trampoline park and jumping and everything, right? So it's like, what is the big kid inside of you that you haven't released in your relationship? Because you also want to make sure that you're not going to always have a high in a relationship, right? So I think that over time, the conversations can get a little stale, but if they do, bring in the childhood behavior, bring in the fun, bring in the teasing, bring in the flirting. All right, I'm going to take 2 more questions. Why people are registering. Burning Desire registered. Amazing. Amazing. So Sammy says, I chased a girl. We were workout buddies. We went on a date, kind of. She told me that I made her feel special the whole time. And I should stop doing that because she wasn't ready. She wanted to be a friend. Yeah. First, you chased. There's a difference between chasing. There's a difference between pursuing, right? So definitely, I hope we learn from that one. And here's the thing is, the way you're going to stand out is by a guy that's really going to show her that he likes her and he's into her, but he's not going to chase her or pursue her if she's not ready for the same thing that he's ready for. He'll just take it lightly and go with the flow, right? And hang out with her every once in a while, even if that's once a month, right? He wants to show that he is separating himself between his wants and his desires and needs, right? There's a difference between wanting a woman and this woman that you want is not ready, but she's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And a man acts on that and tries to get it. But there's a difference between a man knowing a want and there's a difference between a man knowing a need, right? So then he has this woman that he's attracted to and she's showing up. She wants a relationship. So, but this one's just a little bit prettier. So now the man that knows what he wants is going to go to this woman. But initially, you put these 2 women in front of your boys and they're like, wow, this girl is really hot. but this girl's really pretty too. Like, what's wrong with you? Right. So it's really about understanding and separating your wants from your needs, guys. And so I talk about this so much because we live in a world of instant gratification. Um, Oh, how does a man stay emotionally balanced with a woman who is emotionally unstable? Ooh, good one. Reggie, have you signed up for my free live masterclass on Thursday? I hope you have because we are diving into that topic all on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's completely free. Grab your seat. The link is here in the comments and down below in the description. Take one more question, okay? Um, I was ghosted twice by two different women, but the former still keeps stalking me and dropping hints it is her and shows jealousy if she leans I'm into someone new. What is that? That's just she wants to have her cake and eat it too. She knows that you've been attracted to her, and so she looks for the validation with you. It's unhealthy. She looks for validation with your behaviors. And so she likes you to be the guy that wants to chase and pursue her and like her. And so she somewhat likes you, but the moment that you show her attention, she doesn't like you. It's not enough. So continue, JC, to focus on new women because that's a lot of inconsistency. And I've been that woman. I've seen this before too, and that's typically why. Yes, I am, nobleman. I have a question. I have a video all about that, Johnson. The last master class is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern. Does it say? Hold on, let's see. Let me just check this link. Someone said it said 8. Let me see. Nope, it says 2 p.m. It says 2 p.m. Eastern on the link. Yep. So Thursday, the live masterclass is completely free. Get your tickets now. It's all about how to achieve emotional mastery. I'm going to give you 6 secrets to developing emotional mastery to stay powerful and in control of your emotions in front of your dream woman, and also get you to elevate and understanding and recognizing your own emotions. So this is going to be Thursday, November 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern time, this Thursday, guys. All right. Thanks all of you for registering. I cannot wait to see you live. I will be doing a live Q&A as well. Thank you so much for watching this with me. Thank you so much for joining me live. I love doing lives with you guys. And much love to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. And I hope to see you all soon that have registered. If you haven't registered yet, get your ticket. I'll see you this Thursday. Much love to you guys. Bye, guys. Have a great day. And remember, oh yeah, you're always loved.